Hello, we are here today because this is a video I didn't make last season. I don't know why. There's a couple trades that happened and they were exciting. I didn't make a video on them because I don't know. I just didn't. Um, but your boy made a pretty big move, as you can see on your screen here. And there was another trade that happened on Monday. The first trade happened on Monday. So I just want to go over the two trades that happened so far. I might keep doing this. I don't know. I'm mostly making this just because I'm bored right now and I feel like talking about shit. So we're here. Um, so before I go into my trade, I'll go over the first trade. Now this trade happened on Monday. So this trade is active. We have a rule where if you don't trade by midnight on Monday night, basically if you don't trade before Tuesday, your roster's locked in. You can still trade during the week, but your trade isn't active until the next week. So I traded last night, so my trade I can't use my roster is my old roster for week 2, and then week 3 my roster updates. So that's that. A little confusing, but it's whatever. Um, so the first trade was to Braylon Bambinos. They dropped Rosemarie for Cloister. Now, at first, I thought this is kind of troll. I'm gonna be honest. Um, it just made sense. Seismitoad's 14th weak to grass. Bring in Rosemarie 4 times resistant. Roserade speed was still good with 86. I think it's 86. Like, it's Roserade speed. It's 90. Okay, never mind. 90 base speed, which is good. And yeah, I just thought it doesn't really make much sense. But the more I think about it, it kind of does. Cloister gets rid of. It helps Tabs' speed issue when it gets that shell smash up. So that's really good. And then also, it just helps wall break even more. Because really, he kind of had the same issue I had last season, where you have two big hitters and then nothing else does anything. I mean, he has Togekiss, but he has he's been using it more bulky, and Togekiss is good bulky. I mean, you can run it just Scarf, Air Slash, of course, but Kiss has so much versatility, you don't want to lock it into an offensive role every week. So he really had two heavy hitters, and everything else is just absolute fucking bulk, which was kind of like my team last season. He lacked speed, which my team lacked last season. So his team was very reminiscent of mine in my eyes. Um, so getting Cloister helps with the speed control. Get that shell smash up. Not much is outspeeding you, unless it's scarfed or something. So it's good. And again, it's another physical attacker, which is kind of strange because Victini. I mean, Victini can be mixed, but Metacham, physical, Victini, physical or special, it's whatever. Cloister being another physical, but I think it's fine because if you, even if you have a physical wall, it's not walling all three, and it's gonna get worn down. Not much is eating high jump kicks or V crates from Victini and Metacham, so eventually they're gonna go down, and Victini, Metacham, and Cloister are just gonna run through your team. So I think it's fine. Um, Obviously, from a defensive perspective, the trade makes no sense, but from an offensive perspective, I think this trade is pretty good. And then, yeah, he like I said, he made this trade on Monday, so he can use Cloister in his week 2 matches. It is allowed. Uh, Now the only other trade that has happened was my trade. I dropped Corviknight for Landorus Therian. Um, and in my eyes, the trade makes a lot of sense, and I'm going to explain why. So during the draft, the plan was to get Swampert and UU, and then still get Corv. That didn't happen. Chase sniped the Swampert from me, and I was forced to go with the backup with Empoleon. Um, and so the original plan was this: Swampert, 4 times weak to grass, bring in Shaman or Corviknight, Perfectly fine. Corviknight's in, electric type attack. Switch in Swampert or Shaman, immune and resist. Shaman doesn't want to eat the poison moves. Go into Corv. Ice type move. Go into Corv if it's healthy, or Swampert if it's Spadef or healthy or something. Um, and I just felt like the core was really good, and I felt like if I got it, it would have been really well. Cause also it would have made it so I have flip turn and U turn on a and volt switch on the same team. It would have been crazy. It would have been crazy. I would have had a lot of switch initiative. It would have been really good. Losing Swampert was kind of a big deal. Uh, elbows are to me. And then immediately after we got done the draft, I was looking at my team, and I realized there's a glaring issue here. My two big defensive Pokemon, Empoleon and Corviknight, are steel types that are weak to electric type attacks. And you might be saying, how's that an issue? Um, After my game with Chase, he was bitching and complaining, saying there's no way to break through this defensive core. And that's just false. Um, there is one way, which I'll say now because I don't have two Pokemon weak to it, so if you want to bring it, go for it. Um, if you brought a magnet pull Pokemon like a Alolan Golem, Magneton, or Magnezone, um, you can trap in Empoleon and Corviknight. You just insta kill them for free, so that's two Pokemon down immediately. And then they still have value because I have Mega Ladino. You just use a Steel type move, and then she's dead, and then you kill all my defenses with one Pokemon. So that was a really big issue that I was fearing. Again, no one got Magneton or Magnezone or Alolan Golem, but I wasn't gonna run the risk of someone getting it later in the season and then me be unprepared for playoffs and then lose to it. Um, Also, just in general, Lightning Spam was super good against my team. I didn't have a ground type, and I really needed to just. I really wanted the ground type, and I wanted the flying type still because it helps Empoleon, it helps Infernape, and it helps Raikou, and it helps Shuckle if I bring that. So, ground flying that kind of has act. It just made sense to go Landorus, and the fact that no one drafted it is kind of crazy to me. Um, so let me go into here. So originally, I was in my draft when I was doing the ideal scenario. I was looking between Corv and Skarmory, and I was like, I want to go Corv because I just like the more offense that it has and the more like niche things it can do, like Iron Defense, Body Press, um, Taunt, Tailwind, Power Trip, shit like that. I just like that. But even then, I realized when I was team building for my week one matches that Corv probably wasn't the pick. I probably should have went Skarmory. Reasoning being, Skarmory gets access to Stealth Rock, Spikes, and Whirlwind, and Corviknight doesn't. And if you look at my team, I have three Stealth Rockers. I have Empoleon, Infernape, but don't I don't like. I think the lead Infernape Suicide with Sash Rocks is fine, but I don't want to limit. That's not the role I intended Infernape to have on my team, so I didn't like that. And then Shuckle, but Shuckle isn't a Pokemon I'm gonna be bringing every week, and it's not. It's not like a. It's not one of those Pokemon you're bringing every week. So that kind of leaves Empoleon to carry Rocks and Defog every week. I mean, Corviknight can have Defog, which is nice, but it forced Empoleon to have Rocks, and it just felt wrong. So, getting Landorus, I still have my access to Defog that Corviknight had, and I have another Stealth Rocker. So Empoleon is freed from its duties of being the Stealth Rock bitch, and Landorus can have it if I decide to do that. Um, Landorus, again, gives me a ground type so you can't lightning spam my team, and it gives me a flying type to immune these ground weaknesses. So Landorus just, it made so much sense. Um, It gives me another great speed tier at 91. Great, just everyone knows what Landorus does. It's the cookie cutter, man. You just whatever you need it to do, it does that job. I love it. Again, I did the trade last night, so um, it's gonna be until week 3 next week until I can use it. This weekend, I still technically have Corv on my roster, so this will be my last run with Corv if I do decide to bring it to my matches. So I think Corv is great. Um, Definitely a Pokemon that I'm glad I at least tried it for a couple weeks, but again, Landers just made too much sense for the team. Um, and maybe another season I can drop Corviknight again or get Skarmory. But for as how the team is now, I really, really needed the Landorus. Just made the most sense. So, your boys' team, honestly, I know I gave myself 5th in the power rankings before the draft, but after this change with getting Landorus, I really like my team. Last season, the team struggled a little bit. Um, it's down here. This is my team last season. Um, Again, I liked it. I like the Mega Gyarados. Like Mega Gyarados is a fine Mega, but on this team, it just was so slow. So I don't know. I feel like with the because I got Rabombi kind of late. I got it week 3, and then we immediately had to go into playoffs because league issues. But I feel like if I had more time with this team, I would have grown to love it a little bit more. But definitely, I didn't hate this team, but um, it was definitely glaring issues that I had last season that I wanted to fix this season. And I'm glad I made this Landers trade now before we got too far in, and then someone did realize Magnet Pull just destroys my team. Another Pokemon that would have destroyed my team was Toxtricity. No immunity to the Overdrive spam. Uh, would have killed Empoleon and Corviknight, and then the Poison Stab for Audino. So there was a good amount of Pokemon that actually ran through my team, but no one drafted them. So you might be saying, well, then no one can run through your team. But again, you get a lot of trades. You get two free agency trades, and then you get 3 player trades. So you can trade up to half your team, which is, in my opinion, a lot. Um, so I'm very happy with this trade. I think my team is super well balanced now. I fixed up the hole that I had, and I'm excited to see what Landers can do coming into week 3. So that's the video. Just want to talk about why I made my trades, and then talk about the Cloister trade. And yeah, just wanted to give my reasonings and all that. But yeah, I don't know if I'll keep making these videos every time a trade comes out, but um, I don't know. I was kind of bored and wanted to make this video real quick, so that's why I did it. I'm gonna head out of here now. Goodbye.